Hello friends, this is Carrie with Journals by Jadis with another journal flip through to show you. Okay, so this one was one of the first journals that I made when I was new into junk journaling. And you know how when you're kind of absorbing everything and you're watching all these YouTube videos, you're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do an altered book, I have to use digitals, I have to use music paper, I have to use, all of these things. And so a lot of these things that I share started out as like, oh, this is what I have to do, and then I didn't finish it because you get overwhelmed, information overload, and you never know what to do with it. So this is kind of one that I feel is kind of completed. Apparently, I have some sort of insecurity about calling something completed. I don't know if that's just me or if other people share that feeling, but I really love this book. I don't know why I love it so much. It's not that it's overly special. It's not necessarily special to me. It doesn't have a lot of, you know, things that I connect with personally that I put in here. But for some reason, I think I'm just impressed with myself with the things that I was able to do. And when I look at it, I'm like, wow, I see that I'm capable of so many things that I may not have set out to do on purpose. So with that, it's a pretty simple, basic journal, but it does have some fun elements that I want to share with you. So the closure is actually a string of Mardi Gras beads. And the reason for that is a friend of mine, a neighbor, gave me a whole bucket full of Mardi Gras beads. And she goes, you're crafty, you're creative, you can find something to do with them. So when I knew that I wanted to do a red and black theme, the beads I thought were kind of cool. And to be used as a closure, because you can just twist them together or whatever. It can also be detached. It's just looped through a little piece of string here. This is actually a tassel from a fan from the dollar store, like a fabric fan. Again, you know who the people that influence you at the beginning. I watched a lot of Natasha from Treasure Books. I think I mentioned her in almost all my videos because I still very closely follow the same few people that I followed from the beginning. I always branch out and watch new things, but a lot of these journals that I'm sharing with you are journals that I had started a long time ago, and those were a lot of my major influencers then. So she was doing a thing with fans from the dollar store. And of course, I'm like, oh, I have to go to the dollar store and get fans. This is so incredible. So I did. And, I don't regret that I did, but that's where a lot of the inspiration came from. This edging here is actually the fan portion, the fabric. When you open the fan, there's the bone, not bone parts, the ribs of the fan, and then the fabric in between. This is the fabric in between. I just thought it was beautiful. This is actually an altered manila envelope. Like a 9x13 envelope, that has a flap, you glue down, you mail papers in it and stuff. I don't know why I feel like I have to over explain that, but that's what it is. I covered it. I think I was watching Gayle Agostinelli when she was doing her altered manila envelopes. They're kind of, except this one wasn't manila, it was that darker brownish orange color. But anyway, she did tissue paper on it. So I did red tissue paper on the envelope. And then I saw another tutorial, and I can't remember who it was. They were taking, or she was taking, grocery bags, thank you bags, that you give the grocery store or whatever. Well, this was a black one. And when I applied heat to it, when I ironed on it, obviously with a protective layer in between, the plastic shrinks and it tears away. It shrunk. And this is what I was left with. So it was a black plastic bag on top of red tissue paper. The tissue paper had been decoupaged on, and I actually put a coat of Mod Podge on top of this as well. So from an angle, you can kind of see where I sewed through it, Here it is on the back. But it was an incredible effect. I think in hindsight, I might seal it with, might still seal it with some sort of media sealant or polyurethane or something to that effect. I've never dabbled in that, so I don't know what the right product would be. So if you know, please share. So I don't hate how it turned out by any means, but I can see where some of the Mod Podge wants to pull, just from wear and tear. I don't touch it much, but still, just the fact that it didn't adhere 100%, or it got an air bubble under it and it's starting to lift. So anyways, this is the outside. That was the inspiration of where it came from. And I kind of wanted this book to be a book of like passion, like, you know, maybe like the kind of feeling that the tango would represent, you know, you like just deep passion and fun and fiery and like that kind of thing. And so that's what I thought that the red and black did. And so that was my theme for that. The inside of it, the back pages, this is from a like mandala coloring book, obviously in black and white. This is a scrapbook paper pocket. This is not embellished hardly at all. There are a couple elements in here, but not a lot. Like I said, this was one of my first ones, so it was more about the idea of getting the book put together, and I didn't really do a lot with embellishing it, and not that all books have to be overly embellished, but I guess the reason I'm saying that is there's nothing in this pocket to show you because I didn't make anything to put in there. This is red construction paper from my daughter's stash. This is a Victorian dresses book, but the pictures that I chose, I thought worked well in this, and you'll see them in a couple other pages. You'll be able to see them. The black paper obviously can be written on in gel pen or marker, you know, like white marker or colored marker, like the like chalk type, but not chalk that you wipe off, just like that type of marker, milky kind of pen. But this is from a coloring book from the dollar store. This is black construction paper. This is scrapbook paper. This, I love Escher, MC Escher. I love Salvador Dali. I love their artwork. And part of me, it pained me to take apart part of this book, but I knew that I wouldn't do anything with the book except, I mean, I guess sometimes that's what a book was for, you know, but we don't have a coffee table. I have 2 young children. It's hard to keep those types of things out and about. So honestly, taking apart the book and putting it in and using it as an element in something that I'm proud of, I was okay with doing. So this is a book book page from an Escher book, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Just the way he draws in his perspective and such. Some more scrapbook paper. This says Tango on it. I thought that fit. It's a book page pocket. This is a journaling card. This was my very first attempt at ever trying to come up with some sort of digital. Like I made a background and I typed some word on it and I thought, yeah, cool, I made a digital, you know, and I'm not trying to downplay at all what people do, all the creative things that people do, but that was just my first attempt of like, what is this? This is just a piece of embroidery, a book page or magazine page. This is an altered paper clip. I'm going to tell you, I don't love it, but I think it's still interesting. But this was the fan handle, one of the handles from the fan. And then I put piece of fabric and then paper clip behind it and made an altered paper clip. Again, the black and white mandala book. The inside signature, I used this really pretty, I think it's called eyelash trim. I don't know all the technical crafty names. I just know what I like and I use it. Some coffee dyed paper on the back side of that image. This is actually a fabric tag that has writing space. Is it a pocket as well? I can't remember if it was supposed to be a pocket. I don't think so. And then a journaling tag, just pink and red, and then another of my digital image that I didn't know what I was doing. Music page. This again, I showed this in another flip through, is the 365 days of gratitude. And you would, you know, write down words or bullet points for those days. I just turned it into like a flip out page. And then the next page, this was the other side of the scrapbook paper, the other side of the Escher. And then another part of the Escher page, it's got a koi fish in it. But this was that, you know, the other image was that footprint one. So let's see, this is 2 signatures. This is kind of getting on the end of the first, but the way, you know, the way that this man was looking at the woman from the other side of the page, I thought it was just fitting. More construction paper. This is the beginning of the second. Same thing, the way this man, you know, is kind of holding on to this woman, and how on the back side there's a man clearly has his arm around this woman. You'll be able to see the other side. Some more of the coloring paper, construction paper. This is a fabric tab from that fan. Scrapbook paper. This is a calendar page. Again, it was one of those things everybody's gotta have a calendar page, you know, in their junk journal. And so you go and get a bunch of calendars from, you know, the dollar store for, you know, 25 cents or whatever they mark them down to. So calendar page, but it had red in it. Obviously the cardinal is red and black. Scrapbook paper, another flip out from there. Fire Dance was the other name, is the other side of that page where the other, it said it was called like Tango something. This was out of a gem and mineral book, but the colors I thought were fitting. Let's see, a quote on the mandala coloring page, center signature with some, you know, the eyelash trim, the mandala page, gem and mineral book page. This is a pocket tag, altered playing card, tucked in. There's some writing space on the back. And then just the back sides of everything, the back side of the calendar page, scrapbook paper, construction paper. And then see how this man, this is where the man that had his hand around her waist on the other side. And then here the man is, you know, holding onto her arm as if, you know, kind of like, come with me, come dance with me, come be with me. And same with this man, you know. So that I just felt embodied like the idea of what I wanted this book to be about. So I hope that you enjoyed this flip through. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I don't know if I add more to it. I don't know if I list it in my Etsy. I don't know if I, you know, you just don't know. You make all these things, and sometimes it's hard to let them go because they're memories of times of where you were when you made these, you know. And I remember going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made this, and you know, how cool is this, and showing my neighbors, and just kind of my first experiences with junk journaling as a whole. So anyways, I'm happy to have shared this with you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.